So, special time, failure lab. I don't like to call mine failure lab. I never understood that. Mine is called failure class. So, I am literally in and I'm calling my failure class because it's going to give me a chance to say, hey, let's talk about some stuff. Let's get in here and talk about stuff. I got a couple things motioning and moving. So, special time. I've got some things going on. I'm looking at it right now. I'm going to turn it down so y'all can't hear that part. But I'm in live taking questions and answering questions for folks, right? You get a chance to join in on the conversation. And I'm looking at it on one of my other screens over here, y'all. So now, here's the cool thing about that is failure. What if I told you failure was fun? Would you believe me? Or would you say, this guy has finally done it? Now, I'm looking at a couple things here because I wanted this to be question and answer. I got a couple things in from some people earlier today when I said that I was going to be going live with failure class and that you get a chance to come in and I get a chance to talk to you and answer questions. So I'm looking at questions over here on another screen. It's a little weird because it's like seeing yourself. So I get a chance to come in here and listen in on things people are talking about. So you can go ahead and answer questions, ask questions over here. Okay, so that's cool. That's cool. Now, uh, I've got some from a couple of people earlier today. And I said, you know what? I'm going to come in a little bit earlier. I may actually change the times. The reason I was doing 9 o'clock is because I teach class up until 8 a couple of times a week. So I wanted to make sure that I stayed consistent. So I knew that 9 o'clock, it just always works. 9 o'clock always works. So I says, maybe I better, at least explore doing a little earlier. Is that cool with y'all? So, like I said, I get a chance to seeing a couple things here. I got people that may come in studio. I actually offered people to come in studio, so I get a chance to see them in studio too. So, y'all forgive me. I'm going to be looking over at yeah, because I can get 10 people inside the studio today. Okay, I get a chance to do that. That's cool. Let me double check, make sure type and see. Okay. So far, I don't have anybody in studio. Privately talk with the host and other guests. So yeah, I can talk to people inside the studio right here. That's cool. But anyway, so here's the deal, y'all. We get a chance to literally talk about failure and get after it. I used to be so afraid of failure that I felt that I had to be perfect. Now I even got my headphones in today. My other ones were getting too hot, so I put these in. And I used to be so afraid of failure, man. It was terrible. It was terrible. I just started, doing all kind of things to cover for perfectionism. I called it that at sometimes. I'm looking again, I'm looking over here. I'm looking to see who's coming in talking to me about different things. Okay, so yeah. All right, cool. And then I'm looking over here, making sure if anybody comes in studio, I get a chance to catch them in studio. So that's cool there, right? All right. So nice. And we're just going to sit here and talk about failure. What's got you going? What's got you failing? What's got you feeling like a certain way? And I'm going to fight failure with you today. Boom. Me and you, we're going to fight it. Right? I'm going to go to battle with you today. So if you come in and you throw a question in, I'm looking at my phone too, so that somebody might, they like to DM me sometimes and throw in some DMs because they don't want to get on and all that stuff. Okay, that's fine. All right, let me double check, make sure. Let's see what we got. Okay, I got a couple people. All right, let me see what he's saying. Okay, that's better. All right, cool. Now, one guy I'll tell you one of the things that he had going on. And he was saying that, he was putting out a flyer and he just sent me something here. I'm looking at it right now. And one of the things that I talked to him about and he was afraid of is, hey, when he comes and he tries his thing, when he tries his thing, will it fail? And I said, I hope so, but I hope it fails fast. He was like, what are you talking about? I don't want it to fail at all. Well, we want to get information though. And like I said, I'm going to be in here fighting failure with you because now y'all know how I get down. Failure ain't failure until we stop learning from it. It's information. Information, not failure, information. I was just informed whatever I just didn't work. I'll give you an example. All right. And again, I'm looking at a couple of screens. So making sure that I catch anybody's questions over here. It's just kind of weird when you see yourself talking. All right. Now, so there's a package that he was afraid would not work. And I'm going to tell him right now that this is much better, bro. Much better. Still busy, but better. And he was doing something and I told him his flyer is too busy. Right? Now, the flyer was busy, but that's all right. It's not a failure until you don't do it, until you go in a shell somewhere and for whatever reason you get in your shell and that shell makes you stop. Well, how do we fight that? One of the ways that we fight that is by pushing through. There's nothing better. If you ever, I don't know about you, but back in the day when I used to do a little clubbing, yeah, your boy used to club a little bit. I used to literally go in the club, but it was always better when you had a wingman or a wingwoman, right? Well, because that reduced your fear. But then when you got in the club, what did you do? You sat along the wall, you saw a pretty girl. It could have been your wife, could have been your boyfriend, could have been your husband, could have been something. And you did not go up because you were afraid of failure. And then you saw some little munchkin go up and just ask everybody. It was like, hey, I am unafraid. I remember a guy told me this once. He was a kind of pretty popular, with the ladies. Wasn't that great looking, but he was a regular guy. And he says, if you're not being told no, in other words, no, I don't want to talk to you enough, you're not trying hard enough. That's literally what he said. So he was suffering failure by my stretch of the imagination all of the time. But he says, you know what? It ain't failure. It is me going out just doing something and trying. So anyway, that's what today's talk about, question and answers. Y'all get a chance to come in and ask me questions. I'm looking at my other screen over here, seeing who's asking me questions and what kind of stuff is coming in. So I get a chance to see this. Let's see. There we go. Okay, we're still good, y'all. I want to show you something I was failing at today. Now, I was trying to get something to work, and y'all get a chance to see some of my process, some of my working process. And this I was using some AI and it was not working. And it was super frustrating, man. So I want to see if I can pull this up real quick. This tool I was using. I got so mad at it that I literally threatened to fire it. Y'all know how I do, right? If the tool is not, if it's not cutting it, I'm getting ready to toss it out, right? So I think I can show y'all. I use this tool a lot. Um, I use this tool because it's free, number one. And y'all know I like free stuff. Let's see if I got some guests coming in yet. All right, cool. Y'all let me know if y'all having any problems getting in, because sometimes I've heard that Restream could kind of be, they could be kind of funny sometimes and not let people in. So again, when it's Q&A like this, We just get after it, man. Here it is. Here's what I was doing. Now, it finally worked, but I was doing a video and I was doing a video. Here is my buddy. Me and Rob, we do a podcast every Sundays. Now, y'all know I do podcasts too. I got my own, and then Rob and I do one, and then I have one with Ashley. So, I mean, I got a couple things going on. All right, just telling you. So here's what ended up happening. So I'm trying, this is my failure for the day, and I might show you 3 or 4 of them. So, okay, I see I got a couple people in. Let's see who's in here. Okay, cool. I see you. All right, cool. There we go. All right. And I could not get this thing to do right. Watch this. Here's what I said to it. Here's what the very first things. I said, you can't see the very first one that I asked it, but it gave me a picture back of Rob. Now, this is Rob right here. Y'all see him? This is Rob. So I had 2 images. So, of course, I'm telling you about the failure, but I'm also putting you up on game on different tools to use, right? Inside of the description field, if you look at the description field, I'll show you, I got links to different tools that I use. So I want you to be able to, we talk about failure, but then we also talk about ways to get past it, da, da, da. So this is what was failing for me today. And I'm going to tell you, it gets frustrating sometimes when you're working with tools and that stuff won't work, man, and you're pissed. And it's like, dang, AI was supposed to be the savior and it's frustrating you. And then you start realizing that AI, some of it's just BS. Just saying. All right. So here's what happened. Oh, here's the image that I wanted it to take from. I says, it gave me this picture. It gave me Rob with a gray beard. Now, again, this is Rob right here. This is for one of our other, for one of my other podcasts I do on Sundays with the Two Business Guys Mastermind. And this is what we were talking about. We were talking about rethink how you spend your time. Okay. Now, I needed to, okay, I got some people calling me. So, okay, where we got? Okay, I see it. Okay. All right, good. All right, I'm just keeping everything in front of me, y'all, so I can see everything. All right, so it was failing me today. It failed to give me what I wanted to get. Now, I like to show y'all, again, the Monetize Your Life guy, you can't see the TV today because the TV it's noisy and blah, 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 and, whatever. So, yeah, there we go. All right, I see that. I see y'all. So it failed to give me what I wanted. And now I needed to get this video out. This is the thing. I needed to get this video out today. I should probably, while we're on, put that video up because it was driving me bananas. So that way you get a chance to see how I get over the failure. And then I want you to look at this and go, well, if he's getting over failure by just keeping it going, then I can do that same thing. And again, you get a chance to ask me questions. I am looking at both of my screens over here, y'all. So I'm getting a chance to look at it over here too. Good. So I may be going over here doing something, blah, 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 answering the question. Okay. So I want to make sure that if you can literally go, if you're on my YouTube channel, you can go into it and then talk, right? You can give me thumbs up, thumbs down, or whatever it is, or open up for a chat. Chat's available. It's open right now. I'm looking at it right now. Right. So, okay, cool. Well, watch this though. So it didn't give me what I wanted. Now, this app that I'm talking about right here, y'all. You can go to it and it'll do some amazing things. So it eventually did some cool stuff. Look at this app.reeve. I used a free version because I wasn't so sure about the app. I didn't want to pay for it. And I got some other tools that I use that, work good too. Okay. So this is Rob. I says I had 2 separate images. Now, here's the failure of the day. Failure number 1, it was in the tool itself. Boom. And then it was my patience because I got so frustrated with it that I just left. And I needed to get the video out today. So I may have to get it out while we're talking if y'all don't mind coming to work with me. And if you got some questions, how do you do this? And I'm going to go over a couple of things. But anyway, so, okay, Rob's here. This is me. I wanted us to be inside of this thing like that. Great. This mug creates this picture with gray with Rob with gray in his beard. So I kept having to tell, I said, look, take out the gray beard and make it smaller, but don't change anything else. Here's what some AIs do, if you've noticed this, right? Then it came back and gave me this beard, this guy. That's who is that? Right? Can y'all see that? Let me see if y'all can't see it. It gave me this picture. Now, Rob's beard looks like it's been painted on, and it changed me just a little bit. That it starts getting frustrating, right? So you start looking at it going, that's not good. It, it's not quite what I want. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get rid of that. Delete. Remember, this is Rob. Then it gave me this picture. Look, it still looks like Rob a little bit, but it's not. It's got a gray beard now. And I think maybe I'm looking a little older. So let's get rid of that. Now, I'm showing you this stuff because, again, when we start talking about failure, you will have things that fail on you, period. Things will just fail. Now, I got people coming in studio, and then I got chat over here. So I'm looking both ways. All right. So, okay, it couldn't give me what I wanted. I says, take that out. All right. So this is the next one. Now I gave Rob. Now, if I showed Rob this, he would be pissed. He'd be like, bro. In fact, I should show him. I should show him. Say, hey, man, this is how they saying you look, bro. This is you um in like 20 years. I'm gonna download that. He's gonna get a kick out of that. All right, but let's get rid of it. Again, the app is failing. So we want to be resilient enough. Remember this one right here. Look at this guy. That don't even look right. Ah, AI, come on. But I was having a failure day today, and I failed to get my stuff. So finally, it gave us something that I like. Not this one. Look at this. It gave him a gray beard again, and they got me looking, a little older than I probably am. So it finally gave me something that I says I like this one. This is it. This is the one. That's Rob. That's me. Right. Rethink how you spend your time. Great. I needed that. So we're going to download that. Now, why I'm having this kind of conversation with you and showing you tools as I go is because this is what we do here at this particular channel. We're talking about always constantly creating things, right? Creating things that hopefully we can put out there and make money from. Digital tools, we use these digital tools, we use affiliate marketing so that we can get little extra incomes for ourselves. That's one of the key things. All right. Now, everybody down with that? Okay, cool. Should I play some music, y'all? Y'all want to hear some music? All right, hold on. I'll put the music on. Music creator. Music creator's been all right, man. Y'all remember music creator? Okay, so it's got some cool grooves. Let's go ahead and play a couple things. I'll play this one first. Country Hookup. Country music is not too bad. All right. So listen, I'm gonna be going over a couple of other things that are filmed. If y'all want to see one, I created this course, me and a friend of mine. We were able to buy this how to do it course. This was some years ago. And you talk about failure. I think I sold one of these courses, and I think I had to refund them. Why did it fail? Because I got really concentrated in doing the thing, and I did not think about the customer. And I remember when I was working with the lady that I did this class with, she kept saying, "What do you?" And I was like, "We got a course. We got a thing." And she was like, "Really? What do we have?" And I was like, "I don't know. We got something to give." You can ask the question. Right? You can ask the question. It's a failure. So we start thinking about what can I do to mitigate this? What can I do to get past it? What can I do to continue pushing on all of the evidence? All of the evidence is saying I should stop. That is what I really want you to think about. What is going to keep you going, even though all of the evidence? Now you tell me. So inside of, I'm looking at I'm over here, looking at let me turn this down. I'm looking over here, y'all. You can tell me in the chat. Come on in. How you doing? And cool. All right, and I'm looking on my phone too, so if you want to say something, there's a couple places where you can go and have this conversation with me. That's up to you. Now, um, well, what's keeping you going? Now, here's one thing: ChatGPT don't do that. ChatGPT is not going to tell you to keep it. It's just going to tell you what to do. All right. So let me show you one of my other failures. No, I'm going to talk about something that came in. Guy asked me a question. He said, or I posted a question out there today. He said, I said out there, I put out that all you need is a PayPal link. That's all you need. PayPal link and a PayPal link and a so then I listed out why I said PayPal. This is what I want to show you. I want y'all to see this because this is all you got to do to go get yourself. Now, some people don't like it. I'm not gonna lie to you, right? PayPal payment. This is what we're going to show you live. And you get a chance to you to be able to see this live. PayPal payment. This is it. Sometimes people don't show. People literally don't show you the house. That's a shame. All right, let's see if we can. I got somebody coming to the studio. So people don't show you the how. So I like to show you the how stuff, right? So you can get past this failure stuff. I can't. I don't have a place where people can pay me. Here's a Stripe link. You can set up payments in minutes. Really easy. PayPal is some people don't like it, but you create a payment link in seconds. Look at this. Some people call it. That's why I like to say coffee. Now look at this. Look how easy this is. Make any channel in checkout. Make what? Make any channel in checkout. So emails, text messages, social media, your website, in person. Let shoppers check out from almost anywhere. So this is what I told the guy. I says, I know what you have. You've got websites, you've got stuff, but sometimes selling from a Google document, simple, with a PayPal link and then going down your messengers, right? If you go down Messenger, I'm going to go to my Messenger now, and I can look in here. I'm going to go. This guy is talking to me, so come on in. I'm telling YouTube. Are y'all with me though? Right? We're talking about failure. I'm telling them sharing some failures of mine, and then I get a chance to listen on anybody that wants to come in and talk about theirs. So now what I'm showing you here is how easy it is to get past this particular failure. This particular failure is by creating a link. You just create a link or a button, and then it goes right in your bank account. Now they take their fees out, but I'm cool with that. because you can write the fees off if you got a little business. So you go ahead and create a little link or button. Let's see what happens. All right, try to get me. So, okay. Are y'all with me? PayPal link. That's one thing. Creating a PayPal link. Let me go back here. Stripe is another one. I use Stripe too. I mean, all of them have fees, but so what? If you had your stuff on Shopify, that would be a fee as well. Okay, so let's get past all that. We're gonna go long tonight because I did a special one today. I said I'm gonna come on at 8 because I'm getting information that suggests that I should probably come on a little early between 7 and 9, not after 9. I go on at 9 because I know when I'm in class, during class time, I wouldn't be able to come on at 7. Right? And 9 always, that's when I'm kind of like chilling too. So, look at this. Remember, we get our payment link. First thing, create your payment link. Then, what I want you to do is I want you to go over and create a Google document. I'm going to show you this here in a second. I'm going to go off share a little bit. So, again, the cool thing is now, even if you use Macs and all that kind of stuff, they still give you access to Google Documents. So, let's stop that. All you need is a payment link. PayPal, Stripe, doesn't matter, and a deadline. Why a deadline? This will get you past this failure of not launching, right? So, sell, sell from the Google Doc. I'm trying to think of where I have this. So we'll get to it in a minute. But anyway, should have had it up already. Oh, how to turn. I think how to get paid for free. Oh, there it is. This is what I was talking about. So right here is a Google document. I'm going to show you how you can sell from a Google document. We get this. Remember, I told you I said I'm going to fight failure with you. You think you're failing at something. I don't have all the fancy dancy stuff. I don't have this, that, and the third. I don't have landing pages. I don't know how to do all this stuff. Right? Now you get a chance to see how would we sell from a Google Doc. Again, the whole idea. Remember, I says first things first is that we are going to get ourselves a payment link like this, PayPal payment link. I can't help but teach. I'm sorry. I can't help but show you ways to monetize your life. I don't know why I'm putting this off. Right? So PayPal, we get the link, and then we go over to a Google document. Now, watch what I'm getting ready to do. This right here gets you past the thinking or the failing to go out and make offers. That's what I keep hearing because I'm answering a very specific question. I'm answering a question of how do I very easily, very quickly. Okay, so my post insightful. How do I get past not having computers? I said, I don't know how to computer. I said, okay, I'm going to do this. I said, okay, this is what I would do. Come here, right? Come in here. And I say, here's my Google Doc. Remember, we're going to have our payment link. I'm going to show you one that I have inside of this doc too. watch this. So inside of this particular Google document is another way that you can get past this belief that you don't have the tools. Simple Google Docs, selling on the Google Docs. Now, this is question and answer, and I'm answering a couple of questions about failure from some stuff that people have talked to me about, and I put the post out earlier today, and I says, hey, listen, here, let's jam. So he says, how do I simplify what I'm doing? How do I do that? How do I just make it super duper simple? Okay, let's see. Carla reacted. Right? So she's talking. All right, great. All right, good. QB, Betty yourself. Great. Good. So now this document can help you. Look at this. I just start off with something super simple. Nothing that takes a lot. You can sell from a Google Doc. Nothing that takes a lot. You can sell. Not a lot. This is the Google Doc that I sell from. It's simple. I use it with my links. You'll see that in a minute. Look at this. This one says just a little intro. Hey, this document could help you pay the rent, save your house, make you want to quit your job. I'm looking at both screens, y'all, so forgive me. I'm asking questions. So, yeah. Wait, cool. All right. Answer the question. So pay the rent. Let me help you put extra cash in your pocket. Look at this. Here's part one. Quick tips. Quick tips. How to get paid stuff for free. Any questions on that? Cool stuff for free. Y'all can come in into the YouTube and answer questions because I'm watching it. I'm taking a look at it from this side. I'll probably do that going forward so that way I can ask questions live. I usually invite people um, into the doc itself. All right. Oh no, hey, Marcus says there's an echo. It could be because I have another screen open. I was answering questions. Here, Marcus, let me know if the echo goes away when I do this. Let me know. Just put a message in the when I get rid of what's on screen because I'm watching it on another computer. So when you got stuff that's too close, it's like trying to pick up. This is the mic is over here. All right. So let me know now. Just type your thing there. So 2033. In fact, I just found out something that I didn't know, and I could see. Okay, this is Marcus on Facebook, but I didn't realize that I could just that all the people coming in would show me inside the screen. Okay, so Marcus, let me know if it went away. It should have went away because now I'm off of both of those. So yeah, just let me know. But anyway, look at this. Google Docs, super simple. We're talking about failure. You get a chance to type in some questions. I can see your questions right here. In fact, let me see the answer markers. How, how about now? All right, so there you go. Um, okay, he says better. That's what it was. I had another computer up with stuff. I didn't realize that I could literally get all of my questions right here from if somebody asked me questions from YouTube. And here it is. Here's one of the things that the question I got earlier today was, how do I simplify selling? And quite frankly, Marcus, if you remember, I was talking about how you can sell from as simple as a Google Doc. Here's one of mine. I'll show the receipts, right? So here's what we do. Watch this. Run free ads. So what I was doing with this particular document, I'll give you this, this document if you want. It will. If I share it with you, then you have it. And let's see if I can go ahead and do a couple things. Let's see, share, copy link. Anyone with a link? Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right. So that's what I'll do. We'll go ahead and share this. This is the document. Cool. Now, look at this. So I was talking about how you can give away free stuff and still get paid, right? So I was talking about running free Facebook Marketplace, giving away something. This right here worked for this lady so well that she had to stop. She had to stop. Let me see. I'm looking at the hands up. She knows it, talented. Tell us if she comes on and sees this. She actually was running this kind of thing. People were saying, "Hey, is this?" Because people were like, "Why are you asking for this?" And it's not fun. Okay, so here's look. The QR code leads them to a simple landing page where you have other items you are selling. You see what I just did? I just told you that this is a way to get past the failure. Remember, I told you today I'm gonna fight failure with you. All the music and everything. And this is AI music. I created this with it. So look at this. This is one of the ways to fight this idea that you don't have a place to sell from. I show you some other areas that um, I sell from that gives you a chance to go, okay, I can wipe out that idea. Okay. Now, uh, the question that I got earlier today, a person said that they were having some difficulty, was from, overcomplicated stuff. Sometimes people want simple. This is simple. This right here, this little document right here is simple. Right? Look at this. QR code leads into a simple landing page. Think about the logic here. I'm giving this away. This has links on it. This is what I use to build all my landing pages. That is affiliate. Again, I tell people this all the time, and I'm going to tell you right now that what I do here is for educational purposes only. I like to talk to you today. I came on even earlier. Typically, I do 9 o'clock, but I came on earlier because I'm working with time. I'm seeing what people want. They want 7 o'clock. They want 9 o'clock. You know what I mean? 9 o'clock works better for me because I teach class, da da da, and I get out at 8. But if it's 7 o'clock, days I don't do that, I can come on to 7. Nope. But this is what you do. Part one, quick tips: how to get paid for doing stuff. Here it is. Facebook Marketplace. People have an intention to buy something. It is a gold mine. Kid you not. Put something on Facebook Marketplace. Say you're giving something away, and then when people come, you put the QR code. Say, hey, I got some other stuff. You want to go over here and check it out? Here it is. Boom. And then they leave. But they got the QR code of your stuff that you actually paid for. Give them that thing, get attention, or you drive them to a page. Hey, you can go and check it out right here. You can bid on it here, whatever it is. If you're doing a bid service, a big company. The next time someone asks for your advice, sure, say sure. Ask them to buy you some coffee. Here is my buy me a coffee. You can sign up for it here. So I'm giving this thing away, showing people ways to get paid, even if they do stuff. So I said this document could maybe be paid in that. Save your house, some of the stuff, and I say this typical implied guaranteed or even claims that you will pay me money. You may not think of that. Understand? Or put extra cash in. See what I'm doing? Simple stuff. From a Google document. Not to suggest that people don't want fancier. But I remember one online mentor, he only sold. He didn't use landing pages. He didn't use websites. He didn't use none of that fancy stuff. He sold from a Excel spreadsheet. Kid you not. You give it away, and he's an affiliate for everything on that sheet. So when you would ask questions about what he's using, because he would go on and show you stuff, and you would ask him questions about what he uses, he would go, "Oh, I'm using this. Here it is." You get a spreadsheet full of affiliate stuff, and he's giving you instructions on how to use it. This is some of the stuff I learned how to do that by doing stuff like that. Now, I know folks that's got an actual um, Marcus your code leads to simple download. I people like, yeah, absolutely. And that's exactly it. So just think about it. This is a simple doc, and this is something that I'm going to show you here in a second, Marcus, too, because we start thinking about as I go down here, I show other things. Now we got landing pages. I'll be showing you that and how we different things for landing pages, create all kinds of stuff. But I look at it like this. I had this guy who he wanted to start a cleaning service. Real talk. He wanted to start a cleaning service. And I said, what's happening? He says, well, I don't have a car. I says, well, do you need a car? He says, well, to get back and forth to places. I said, well, before you get a car, could you just help other cleaning services get this? He says, what do you mean? I says, literally, you are lead generation for them. So your job is to every day just go out and just comb all of these areas, kind of look around and see who might need a service. You can use the yellow pages, you can use white pages, whatever. Because it's online. I said, now you go to a cleaning service and says, hey, I found a couple of companies that might need your service. And they're looking at you like, well, who are you? You send them to a Google Doc because he had no money. There's no harm, no foul. Sometimes you're just busted. You got no money. But you got other stuff. You got a mouse, you got a phone, you got a place that maybe, hopefully, you got a place where it's warm. So your job every day is get up, keep the TV off, just get on the phone. And I was telling him to use a free tool like this. This is what he would do. Show him how to go to campus, get a QR code. Look at this. Offer to turn old PDFs to pieces of writing, notes, and ideas. Otherwise, could you do that for other people? Yeah, people are busy. They think they want to do it themselves. They're busy like me. I think I want to do stuff myself. But you see, I'm already falling behind. My failure is that I'm falling behind. All of these are typically I'll keep a note when I do a show. I'll just kind of like notes and keep it down. So I'm falling behind. Like I showed you earlier, here are some of the images that I had to, finally got created right so I can now get the video out. Oh, my gosh. Look at this. Here's what I'm failing at. I'm going to help you fight your failures. Just drop it in the messaging, whether you're on Facebook or whether you're seeing it somewhere else. Just drop in your questions, and I'm going to answer them. Guess what? Right now. Anything. Now I got a couple questions here. Yeah. Okay. This is how you would embed it. Now here's monetizing life strategy so you can cash your money. So I'm telling you now, here's some strategy. Imagine what you so for example, you've got the idea that you have, but you don't know yet if anybody's getting down with it, right? You kind of know that's a problem. So we use something like this, a Google Doc, something simple. Maybe you have information because in a Google Doc, you can put all kinds of stuff here. Look at this. Insert image. Wait, you mean I can do an image? Yeah. You drop an image in here. I'll show you a couple of images here in a minute. Now look at this. So this is acting like a fully fledged web page, huh? Sorta. Don't get me started on what you can do, what you can turn it into, because it gives you the ability to do that. I don't want to get too ahead of myself here. I don't want y'all saying, oh my gosh, I had no idea you could do that. I'm just giving you a very simplified version of this. Links. Here's a video. Turn your inbox into income. We're going to use a bit of AI with this one, but first, you see what I'm doing from a Google Doc? I'm giving some instruction. That's all. Giving some instruction. And then I'm taking people to different things where they can see it. So some, people are cynical nowadays, right? So people like, show me the receipt. You know? So this video, if I clicked on this, this will take you to a video that shows you exactly how I do it, and how you can do it too. Turn your inbox, in other words, your ordinary email inbox into cash in your pockets. Now, I say this with this caveat. That is typical and implied guaranteed This is for education purposes. I'm not giving you financial advice. I literally some things you can do to get past this failure to launch your stuff, failure, all these excuses. Like I talked yesterday, I talked about procrastination and perfectionism in yesterday's live. If you're on YouTube and you're seeing this on YouTube, then you can go and go to live and you can see that. All right, look at that. Turn that pile of ideas into income. This is another thing that I show here. I show you how to use a simple recorder. Now look at this. I know I'm not drinking coffee at 8:46. Saying. To have a good following, one of your social media pages to qualify for advice, you gotta have a following to get in Amazon to do this stuff, right? But these are all stuff that I bought. I bought this, I bought that book, I bought these things, testing them out, I bought day trading, I bought this thing. So now you buy something, so okay, y'all getting it? All right. Now look at this. Microsoft Bing back in the day, that's what they called it. Because you'll see here, I used images from when Dolly was around, right? You remember ChatGPT had Dolly, and it was making pictures like this, right? This is me, monetize life guy. People kept saying, man, I don't like that because it was like, it just robs somebody. You got the bag. This is one of my other launches where I talk about how to make bank in your bathroom. Y'all see me sometimes show up in the bathroom. Got t-shirts on. Got my bathroom on because I want to show you how you can relax. These are things that we help us get past failure, y'all. Failure is insidious, man. You think it's slick, but it's not. You think it has us, but it does not. So why I'm talking about it today is I'm going through some of my failures. I'm going through something that other people have talked about, things that they have failed about. They sent me notices, literally on my phone. So I said, well, let's talk about it. Get after it. I'm gonna help you fight it. I'll help you fight failure. So this is the kind of stuff that happens. Good. Yeah. So somebody's asking me what they want to do. And all right, cool. I'm good this week. Let's get it. This happens to be my downtime because so look at this. Get some AI and this simple software in your life and get paid. Use Perplexity and this SEO tool. These are certain SEO tools that you use to go out and drive traffic to your offer. Y'all seeing what I'm doing here? This is where I'll stop you and I'll add in that this is, you know, update this thing all the time. Here's the buy me some coffee link if you like this. This is kind of stuff that you can put in. Right? And I'll come to the end. So here's where you get a chance to like insert stuff. Well, so let's say you want to insert an image. So you can upload from your computer. So really simple. So for example, today I got the failure class, right? This image. This is the image that I can literally put in here. And this is from today. We talk about failure class. I'm helping you fight it tonight. Here's a question and answer. I'm talking about question and answer, but you see what a Google Doc allows you to do. You can put a whole image in there. Look at this. Now, if I wanted to light this image up, then I'm going to insert a link. So if I were to insert a link, let's say I'm going to insert a link right here on this image, I would then put that link in here, and now it made this link live. So let's say this is going to show. I'm going to uh, put this link in, and it should light this thing up. See, watch this. This is how simple it is, y'all. This is a way we get past failure to watch things. Other stuff, we get in, we insert tables. So let's say you want to insert a table right here. So we go over here, and we insert a table because in a table you might want to put things. That makes sense. I like to show you these tools because these give you all the ways to get past any kind of failing situation that you find yourself in. Here's one that you can put in code blocks. I didn't even know about that. I'm gonna have to check that out. I can put in some right. Yeah, I can put in some code. We can try it. So, but in this case, like I say, let's put in table. So if I'm gonna go put in a table, let's say I want to put in a four thing table. All right, y'all see that? Now I got a table here. I like to strip stuff out. Now, why am I showing you this? Why am I showing you this simple stuff? Because I'm seeing a lot of people were telling me, literally, they were telling me, hey man, this is how you fail. Because I can have all this stuff. And I listen. I'm very nice. I'm very, but I go, here's how you get past it. And what I decided to do today was come on and say, I'm going to fight. So I'm going to play with this. I got some ideas. Bro, from idea to action to income in less than 24 hours. Share a couple, if you want, share a couple that, some throwaway so that we can do this live and share with me, if you will, some things that have kept you from putting that very idea into action. Just, just share them here, and then I'll respond. Hey, here, and I'm saying let's figure them out. Let's figure them out right now. I'm surprised, man, that people aren't more people are unafraid to talk, afraid to talk about the failure. I am. It's crazy to me. I don't get it. Why are we afraid to talk about failure? Look, look at this. So inside of this thing, then put in insert stuff if you want. So it said that we can put code in here, we can put drawings, we can put symbols, charts, all kinds of stuff. So what I would be thinking about is um, they got AI summary now. They can summarize all the stuff that we got going on here. This right here, we could just sit at home and come up with. This is what I'm gonna suggest to um, MR. I'm gonna suggest this to you is especially because of the product and out of respect for his product. I'm not gonna say what it is. 'Cause I don't want y'all thinking I'm gonna go grab this idea. But anyway, so there's gonna be a lot of ads being right now. So we got a table building blocks. Let's see, they got a code block. I don't know what a code block is. Oh, I see. So they allow you to put code block in. But I'm really curious about this. So it lets me put an HTML block in. So let's see what else we can do. Again, this is how you get past failure. Try this stuff. What do you got to lose? Seriously. So I'm gonna mess around. It says I can put an HTML code block in. Let's find out. I got some HTML code, baby. Yeah, this is one that was this is here's I don't know if I told you. Here's one I got my with my other. This is what we're doing. Got this right. I don't know if you can see that. This is so here's one that I got going on. This is this ain't a failure yet, but I'm hoping to see what I can do to make it fail. Wait, what? So I got this going on with one of my collaborators, Ashley. We do like Sundays as well. We do a thing every Sunday talking about careers, talking about business, talking about life. So I created this. Now, for me, it's a failure because I haven't. Don't hire more, empower who you. This is something that we would with Business Strategy Con. This is us talking to people about how your team is drowning in garbage, but I did not launch it. Therefore, this is a trend method. This is one of the things that we work on all the time. And that's one of those moments where you go, why didn't you just fix it and launch it? Right? Career, business, life. Presented by Randy and Ashley. And it's almost ready, y'all. Why didn't I launch it? It's my failure moment. I don't mind talking about it. And that's why we talk about it. It's because it's failure moment. You digging it? We have to talk about it. So, okay, let's say that we can put code in here. But you see what we're doing? Now, I'm going to keep this here because I can literally use this. I can focus this on this thing right here. I probably going to get here. All right, so you see how easy it is to use a Google Doc to increase it. Yeah? Any questions on that stuff? I told you that I was going to help you fight failure. I said I was going to use a Google Doc. I showed you how to use something as simple as a PayPal link, easy peasy. Now, y'all want to see some other failures? Here's one. I'll show you. This right here didn't do that. This course did not work. This broke my heart. I worked on this gosh darn course. Well, this one in this format it worked better. But when I first launched it, it was an abject failure. I mean, failure, y'all, because I put it together. This is my pay hip store. I wanted to show y'all pay hip store. It again becomes a place where you can put stuff for sale. I like to test things here. This is what I call. I did this during Christmas season. I forgot. This is the pay what you want price. Now I started thinking about this abject failure. Why? Because it's sold one thing I did not get out of it what I put into it in terms of this right here. This course taught me. I say it was a failure, but it taught me everything I knew about launching courses. Now I don't build unless I know that there's buyers. Like what? Yeah, like I teach you. I teach you. We don't launch stuff until we know we got people that's ready to buy it. Wait, what? What do you mean by that? We see if there's demand. That making sense? So I'm going to be going like here, right? I, I'll give you an example. Here's what I would do. So I got this course right here. It says going from fear to your first business, right? So first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go to a little site. Really, really simple. Y'all seen me do this before, but I want to talk about failure. Why this thing failed, because I didn't do this before. Fear of starting. And WikiHow is just a big old place where people go to ask questions. You'll see me talk about it, right? Now, the name, how to start a small business. Look at this. If there are people running ads, look who is running the ad. LegalZoom. They want to give you some legal advice. How to start a business. Indeed, right? Why Indeed? I don't know because we want to see if you start a business so they can get your job. See what they're doing? So I like to look in here, but look at this. How to start a home internet business. I want you to see this. 416,932 views. Now, somebody's coming on here and they're telling some people how to start a home internet business. Next, how to start a small business. 2,268,416 views, updated 2 months ago. Expert cooperative. I'm an expert. How to start an online business. Now, I'm showing you what they're doing. Look at this. Does that do in any way? Yes or no? Does that look like there's some fancy? No. People are coming on here asking questions. Go to WikiHow and say, "How do I start a small business?" Now, how did I name mine? Going from fear to your first business. That was failure number one. I failed to now. Now this was built 4, 5, 6 years ago. 6 years ago. It does well. People pay me. It does all right because I made sure that when we were building it, that it was a universal thing. Now we had old covers back at this, so I updated. I got a new cover. But my point is, and then I didn't do the very essential thing that is marketing. Because there's people from fear to your first business. It's not a terrible name. I would probably go to ChatGPT and update that name and make it a little bit better, make it a little bit sexier, repackage all of it and and basically do it again. But I was able to take this and then put it into another format. I'll show you that in a minute. I turned a failure into a financial gain. Again, typical, this is not typical implied or guaranteed or even promise that anything will happen like this for you. But this is the point. I see I don't start anything and I don't want to start anything before we know that there's people searching for it, that there is people even running ads to it. Now these ads are right. I want to see here. Now, yesterday, I owed some people some pennies. I think I owed some like 9 cents. I said I wasn't going to use them. I'm saying right, 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 right. Now we go to Wiki. Something simple. WikiHow. This is a sneaky tool. How to start an online business as a kid. 75,000. So what could you do? How to start a money lending business. Updated 9 months ago. 347,000. Could you go in here and create how to start a car repair business? 470. If I'm you, I'm looking at this and I'm going, this is interesting. How to start your own business without money. 1 million views 3 months ago. They updated. What does that do for you? That should tell you here is what I'm going to do next. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to go out there and I'm going to create some stuff without money. Let's go in here and see what they're talking about because we're going to reverse engineer it. right? We got Art Lewin, entrepreneur. Now, Art Lewin is using this as, guess what? Traffic. Look what this lady said. This article. Now, y'all want to see it? This is how you do it. Look what she says. This article has given me structure on how to start my business with virtually no finances. Okay, that's what she said. We look at more success stories. Now, watch this. This is the goal. This is going to keep you out of failures. I told you I was going to help you. Come on here and help you fight this. This article has given me structure on how to start my business with virtually no finances. I'll keep my job, create my business from a spare bedroom at home, advertise on social media, eventually get it installed and sell my home environment. Okay, next. Business steps, IBS requirements, IBIS requirements, all out, everything I didn't know about starting a small business. More important to have the plan to support it. Okay. Faces on here. I had big interest in making crafts, so I was wondering if I could start a business with my skills. Okay. Next. It helps me to know how to start my own business. It gave me an idea how to get clients. This right here is a tip and a tool as to what people are saying. Now, could you use YouTube to do the same thing? This is the goal though. Now, these are people that said this. We just take this information. Watch this. Y'all with me? This is a long one. That's why I hope you fight that. This is what people are saying. Let's take that. Let's go to chat GPT. All right? Chat GPT. I probably would use another tool, but let's just fine. All right? So I gotta say something very specific to chat GPT. This is the thing. Now remember, we just looked at WikiHow and seeing what people are saying. Forget previous conversations. I don't want to get now. Now, be an expert turning comments into cash. Look at these. 20 ideas. 10,000. Say 10K. I use, um, watch this. And similar. So we just given it a prompt. Forget conversations, forget previous conversations. This one, be an expert at turning comments into cash. Look at these and give me 20 ideas I can monetize. I use this amount for what I use for my courses. And then I'm gonna paste in what they said. Comments. Now, our job is to turn comments into cash. We say we can turn comments into cash. Now, again, what we are fighting is the failure to understand, the failure to not know what to do next, failure, all this kind of stuff. That's what we're fighting. Okay, you see what I did? I brought this stuff in from another spot, over the wiki how I asked, I put in one prompt, start how to start your own business without money, because it had a whole bunch of views. Remember, You see what little part of it is, and he talks about who he is, staying safe and now. Okay, I just like the way too. Yeah, we got all this stuff. This is what we use. We use these right here. Then we're going to put it into ChatGPT, and we're going to have ChatGPT tell us. Okay, perfect. I'm going to treat these comments exactly how a ruthless monetizer would, not as feedback, but as revealed demand signals. Y'all just see what it gives. You see in the comments. These comments to tell us exactly what people actually want. I'll give you 20 monetizable ideas. All right. How to plausibly hit 10,000 MRR using these tools that I talk about. No fluff now. I told it, do not remember that talk to me about it. So yeah, obviously, I say, give me fluff, don't give me stuff. Right? What these comments really are saying. Now, you see what I did? I just put in these comments. Remember, we're just going through some things, how we turn a failure into something else. That's it. I had a item that failed because I didn't name it right. I did no ads to it. If I had known better, because it was an algorithm, I didn't know at the time that I should probably be running a lot of ads to it. And I may re-release it for shivers and grins. What comments really say? Decode it fast. I don't know the steps. I don't know. I needed a plan. I want to start by embarrassing myself. Look at this. This is cool. Unmet needs. I want to be good and make money. That's money. See what they said? I took comments and I had them tell me what the comments mean. This is how we use ChatGPT to help us fight failure. I told you I would help you fight failure. Come on, come on, failure. Look at this. What the comments really say, decode it fast. Across all comments, they're saying this, that's money, 20 monetizable products, services built with these comments. The business step translator is giving us names. These names are garbage right now. Offer $49 subscription. Why? Works, ideas, requirements, planning, confusion, specific comments. 10K pass. Look at this. Look at this. It's telling you you need 204 10K. 9,906 a month. Bill, courses plus checklist plus email drip. Now, ChatGPT is telling us, but then who's going to help you do this? Because you got all these other things going on, talking about failure and blah, blah, right? This is why I'm fighting. Well, I'm here. This is why I've been answering questions inside of here. It is. Now, start before classes. Start before classes. 14-day prep program that makes people ready before they waste money. Start before I don't know. Who can? Here's your offer: 197 one time or $29 a month. People don't like paying for it. I do it with a couple of tools and all right, craft to cash. A lot of people are in crafts. Just saw that. We saw it over here at WikiHow. Let's go back over to WikiHow. See, because you get ideas, craft business. You see what I just did? I saw something that ChatGPT said. Now I'm going over here. I'm seeing if there's anybody talking about how to start another one. How to start a home internet business. Bam. Category selling arts and crafts. 115,000. Okay. Category how to start a small business is still craft business, how to start an online business at 1,619,589. It keeps coming back. Now, I would say something like this: how to start a business as a kid, that's 75,000. Who's likely looking at that? Parents. They probably giving their kids a lot because you gotta keep that money for themselves, right? Remember the other day I did a business class as a business plan I failure. But people still ask about how to write a business plan. I would call this the anti-business plan. How about let's goes and jerks. How about a something called anti? I seen it. What can I do with that? Look at this. The anti-business plan. The name is strong. So now watch this. Propose and mitigate. I like exactly right instinct. I'll deliberately be brute force and then I'll systematically utilize it. So y'all see it? This is why we're using ChatGPT for these tools. Like I talked about yesterday, I talked about creating. Um, y'all was me yesterday. I don't know what to do. I'm looking for that note. I gotta make sure it works first. Once I see it works, then I'll see. Yeah. All right, back to that. You seeing it? Remember, I was talking about this right here and how this particular course at the time had failed, and then because I didn't do some very basic things. First, I should have named it differently. Second, I should have gone out, like I said, search WikiHow, kind of see exactly what people were talking about, and then use that inside. So since then, I've done some repurposed it, and it seemed like a failure, and I turned it into something. Okay, so I'm gonna end with this. So now, if you want, you can see what it's doing here. There it is. It's telling me now that I says, what about the anti? Because sometimes you can go against type. If it's out there and it's saying, hey, a lot of people are searching for business plan, they're still going to look at it because they want to see. Uh, I'm just reading. So the anti-business plan really means positioning the promise about why you don't need a 40 range. You need five decisions. And start off with those. This is not anti-business, it's anti-waste effort. The anti-business plan framework, the product core. So what problems you solve, not your idea. What will you solve with your buyer? What will you sell first? Testable. How will you get your first 10 buyers? That's see the anti-business plan. Like I talked about the other day, I should have built this and put it with that talk. So that way I did a talk and then I could have sold the actual uh, course. Y'all see what I'm doing here? Okay, cool. 12 ways you can monetize your business. Look at this. It's giving you 12 ways. Now, again, ChatGPT and all these other ones are good at telling you what to do, but then they don't get your ass up there and do it. You need help with that. So if you need help with that, I'll see it. Get on my calendar. There it is, right there. It hide. 12 ways you can monetize the Anchor Business Plan. Anchor Business Plan is tell me a guided decision based traditional plan. Guided decision system. See that? This is the key word here. Decision system. People like systems. Format, interactive course worksheet, decision tree. Price, $97.83. 10,000, path 104 sales. 104 sales. Yeah. It, it, it just told you what to do. And it's not typical, apply, guaranteed, or even promise that that will happen for you. That's what that last stuff. They give them because they don't do stuff right, or they don't do stuff consistently. Or they look at this, and like I've done before, even myself, I've looked at this and says, hey, I don't feel like it. Or I don't believe it. I don't believe that. Check it to your life. But you ain't even trying. That's a failure. Why I'm helping you fight failure today is because it is right in front of us what to do. Failure to launch, failure to try, failure to do stuff simply is what's keeping you from. That's it. I just showed you how to use a simple Google Doc. I showed you how to get a simple PayPal link. I showed you how to find problems people are having based on data. And then I showed you how we then use some AI tools to start it letting it be our thinking. I just showed you you if you stayed on with me, then you now know there's no I know what you just said, but you now know. Question becomes simple, but not easy. Simple, but not easy. Simple. Oh, $97? $97.83, 10,000, 104 cents. Simple. Oh, now I gotta go do it? Yeah. Let's go get 104 cents. Now we're gonna run ads to this. We're gonna use some of our tools to run ads to this. We're gonna create a landing page. We're gonna either put it on a simple Google Doc or we're gonna get fancy with it and then run it to actual landing pages like I do. Do it all the time. Here's my voice training. Oh, so, I do this all of the time. Here's my bamboo. So we run ads to it. We ask ourselves a question now. Here's the wonderful thing about this. We run ads to it, monetize your life guys, slash bamboo principle. That's who I am. This is it. This is all right here. You get it. Click on that and it gets you to it. And then boom, here's who I am. Here's oh, and then we launch. Any questions? So I've walked you down through it. I've said I will help you fight failure today. And if your failure has to do with you didn't know where to put stuff, you didn't know how to get an idea, you have somebody come in and says, "Hey, I'm going to play with this." I'm going to tell you, there is no play. You do it. But now he has an idea of a couple things to do. So then let's do that.